Can you please share your idea and your story, how you decided to come to Ukraine and why it is important for you?
Sure. So I'm at home in Pennsylvania, watching the war unfold on TV like everyone else. And at first, like everyone else, I thought, oh, that's a shame. They're going to be in Kyiv in 3 days. This whole thing is going to be over. Russia's going to have Ukraine. It's going to be terrible. And then a week goes by. And then 2 weeks go by. And now there's a column of tanks 41 miles long stuck on the road to Kyiv. And they're getting picked off one by one. And then 3 weeks go by and we know that that column of tanks is never going to move again. And everybody is cheering. And things are getting better. Then the story of the Hostomel airport comes out. And all of a sudden, there's clearly a resistance in Ukraine that is going to beat back the second largest army in the world. And I am cheering for it. And over the course of the next year, I watch as Ukraine pushes back the Russian army, reclaiming 54% of the territory that they had initially occupied. And we're starting to give aid. The arguments about tanks are happening. The arguments about F-16s are happening. The negotiations are happening. And I'm in a bar. This was last January. It was just after the first of the year, January 2023. And I'm in a bar in Erie, Pennsylvania, enjoying hot wings like a good American should, with my dear friends, and we're talking about Ukraine in loud voices, about how frustrated we are that the government isn't doing more, that we can't get the weapons over here that you need to defend yourselves, yada, yada, yada. And all of a sudden, the bartender comes over to us and drops our food on the table and says to me, Petey, you're listening to all the wrong people. See, there's no war in Ukraine. It's all just a hoax so the Biden crime family can launder money. It was so shocking for me to hear what was obviously Russian disinformation, garbage, from a fellow American in a bar in Erie, Pennsylvania. I'll tell you, Vika, we got those wings to go. We went back to my place. And after my friends left that night, I booked a flight to Warsaw and a sleeper car to Kyiv, absolutely intent on coming here and trying to be of some help in this fight.
So you didn't even think like a lot about that. You just decided and did it.
Well, I'm very fortunate in that, or I shouldn't say I'm fortunate, but the reality of my situation, that I had recently become an empty nester. My son had graduated and had moved on. He was out there living his life. I was all alone now. I had certain means, right? I was able to pick up and go. And so I'm very fortunate in the fact that the circumstances of my life coalesced around this time to make it possible. I understand the vast majority of people cannot, no matter how committed they are to the cause of the defense of Ukraine, can't just pick up and leave their lives and come here, right? I understand that. But we can all do something to stand up at this time, this critical inflection point in history.